Hi, I'm Rachel Romeliotis, a senior editor at O'Reilly Media, and I am here with Vanessa Hurst. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to talk about social innovation. So tell me actually what that is in your words.
I believe social innovation is the innovation or the new ideas, the new products and services that we use to address our most important social issues.
Mm-hmm.
And so that includes poverty and economic inequalities, access to healthcare, educational inequalities, things that are sort of go to the core of the human experience.
Mm-hmm. So at O'Reilly, we're super into open source, right? So can you tell me some examples of sort of where these two are meshing together?
Absolutely. So the platform that I started, Code Montage, actually showcases a bunch of projects. And one of the things that we think is really interesting about open source social innovation is that there's an opportunity for code that is not just tools, so not just like a database layer or an operating system, but also an entire application that's used for social purpose can be showcased, and people can openly collaborate the way that we do in our companies on our core products. We can do that openly for nonprofits and for social impact projects. And so one example that I'm really excited about is one that was started by the team at ThoughtWorks. It's called Rapid FTR, and FTR stands for Family Tracing and Reunification. And so what they do is they actually have a really interesting server-side component, a Ruby on Rails application, and also a mobile application based on open source technologies to basically collect data after natural disasters around the people and what resources they need, and then also connect mostly kids that have been displaced to get them back with their family members.
Oh wow.
And so there's a lot of interesting technology and also a really important service.
Yeah, definitely. That's fascinating. So I know you're also involved with Developers for Good. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Developers for Good is really just a community. It's based in New York City, but we have a lot of remote participants and people engaging online. And it comes from my experience volunteering with a nonprofit and realizing that while I didn't have an extra $10,000 to give them, I could change their website and help solve some of their problems that created much more value for them.
Yeah.
And so I started a meetup and just brought together developers, technologists of all levels with the nonprofits that were looking for help. And
do you find that, are people coming to you? Are they hearing about this?
Yes.
How can we get the word out?
What's most important to me is to get the concept out.
Okay.
Developers for Good itself is very much, I think, just sort of a prototype example of, something that we do monthly in New York City.
Okay.
And we've grown very much by word of mouth. It's actually been sort of a side project while I was working at a startup and also running another nonprofit.
Right.
And so I think that's a testament to how much people identify with, using their technical skills directly to help a cause that they care about.
So you've kind of alluded to different ways developers can get involved. Can you kind of give maybe a short list of really easy steps maybe?
Yeah, I think it depends on exactly your sort of time commitment and
Sure.
How you're interested in getting involved. If you're interested in sort of a high level brainstorming experience with a nonprofit or connecting in that way, I would recommend connecting with Developers for Good. It's not very we're very much just a connection platform,
Sure.
not very precise. But if you are, say, interested in open source contributions and wanting to know how your open source code can directly impact an organization, I would check out Code Montage. CodeMontage.com/projects is where we have a lot of open source projects that are ready for contribution.
Oh, cool.
Another really great organization is called Social Coding for Good.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Oh, great, yeah. And so the team at Benetech is all about helping people hook into those projects.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for doing all of this, and thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.